When you're thinking about your career, you should consider the following three things. First of all, your passions will almost certainly change over time, at least slightly. And therefore, you should be like a Swiss knife. You should acquire transferable skills. That is, you should learn skills that you learn in one job, you can easily translate them to another job. For example, let's say you decide to become a physicist working in a lab for particle physics. Now, the skills that you learn in that lab, they're not very transferable. I mean, you might be able to work in another lab on some other experiments with some slight re-education, but you will almost certainly have a more difficult time finding a job. On the other hand, if you decide to become a theoretical physicist working in particle physics, but instead decide to specialize in using, let's say, deep neural networks to run simulations, all of a sudden, your skills will easily translate to virtually anything else. You could work at any top-tier tech company, or you could make a lot of money on Wall Street as a quant trader, or you could do virtually anything else. The second point you should keep in mind is that not everything will always go 100% the way you imagine. And therefore, you should ask yourself, if your dream career doesn't work out the way you imagined it, are the backup options still something you would be happy with? What I should have understood back then is that trying to become a theoretical physicist really means there's a, let's say, 20% chance that I would succeed at plan A and be really, really happy and satisfied. But more like an 80% chances that my plan A won't work out, and I would have to settle for something that I'm just not nearly as passionate about. And if I had taken the weighted average over all possible career paths of studying computer engineering versus studying physics, I would have realized that computer engineering actually has way better options, with all the backup career plans still being pretty good and making me happy. Thirdly, money matters. I grew up in a household where I was constantly told that money doesn't matter and money doesn't buy you happiness and all that stuff. And obviously, being rich doesn't guarantee you'll be happy. However, if you choose a career path that will almost guarantee that you'll be left struggling with your financials for the rest of your life, that's just not a smart move. You see, back in high school, my big dream was becoming a professor at a top-tier university researching theoretical physics. And at least back then, for me personally, that sounded way more exciting than becoming a highly paid engineer or a startup founder. What I didn't realize back then is that if plan A, becoming a university professor, didn't work out, plan B would really suck. And you know who the people are who constantly keep telling everyone that money doesn't make you happier? It's people without money. They're lying to you and to themselves. Numerous studies have shown that, on average, having more money makes you happier. Not happy, but happier.